What's up, guys? We're here at the Brokers Open. This is my new listing. Actually partnering with someone outside of my team on this, so shout outs to my co-list Chance. This property, the family's mom is aging, and so they've decided to let go of the legacy family property. Nicest home in this whole neighborhood of Haiku Knolls. One of the nicer homes in all of Haiku Knolls and Haiku Park, which are two of the more sought after neighborhoods in Kaneohe. And they fixed this up to make it beautiful, to capitalize, get the most for it, and sell it to reposition mom and the ohana for end of life and that sunset era. We feel good, we're excited about selling this one. The home is beautiful. We're unveiling it today on a Thursday with the ko'olau shining and the house shining. Let's go in and talk with our team, some of the agents, show you guys the spread, show you how we sell a house. Let's go. It's a rare time that we have the whole team together. Kenny, what are your first thoughts?
Love the neighborhood. It feels like a corner lot. I like that it's elevated up. The remodel is amazing. Very, very well done. High quality stuff. Clean, not too modern. I could see this being something for me, it's just the wrong time.
This your poke here?
All pow.
All pow. You heard that? All pow. This is no stranger to the microphone.
We already know that. Oh, you're not going to hold this for me?
No, not for you.
Okay, whatever. So I love this side of the island. When you're coming to the property, you're looking at the MLS pictures, it's beautiful. You can already tell that the house is gorgeous. But the thing that I think is going to be like the wow factor and really draw people in is the drive into the community. All the way in the back of this area, it's just ko'olaus. You walk in, or you drive in, and it's just ko'olaus. The backdrop is insane. You can have a nice house anywhere. You cannot have that type of view outside your home anywhere else than here. So that's what's gonna win it for me. Like, that's to me the best thing about this property is the Ko'olau Mountains. Bars. You guys know Aiden. Your grandparents are from Kaneohe too, right? Yeah. Like, so you kind of quasi grew up in Kaneohe, right? Little bit. Okay. What are your thoughts on this?
This home is in pretty close proximity to Windward Mall, but you're tucked away enough to feel like you're in a community and not like right next to a mall, even though you're like 5-minute drive from it. I like that it's a corner lot and it has a lot of yard on the side. That's a huge thing, especially if you're going to be entertaining, you're going to be throwing some gatherings. You're in a cul-de-sac too, so you don't have a lot of through and through traffic, just people who are living in the neighborhood. Another thing that I like about this home is the bathrooms. Bathrooms heavily updated and super nice, super sleek, clean feel to it. I know that's a huge sale point for a lot of people, bathrooms and kitchens. And kitchen, nice and open. Got a big island. You can put some people up here. Nice flow out into the backyard. You got a little gazebo out there too. So a lot of opportunities to be social and have parties. Where would I put the squat rack? Nuance to that. Do I live with anyone? If I don't live with anyone, right in the living room. Be a perfect opportunity for a squat rack. Yeah, the squat rack would probably be inside. But if I lived with someone, I would probably put it out on the slab over there. It's already set. I can drill into it, set down like a nice rack and then a pull-up bar.
What you planning weight, you gotta screw them down into the ground. Another thing though I wanted to like touch on, just because this house just like calls for it, is like your ability to host your family and your friends. The living space you come into, and then you have this large island here with a big kitchen, and then you even have, your wine fridge over here, and you would use it just like this. You have all your pupus, have all your drinks in here, and then you walk right outside. You have a covered area. This is the type of house you want people to come over to. Plenty of space inside and outside. I know we've talked about this before, like, hey, how come our generation doesn't have like the uncle whose house we always go to for Christmas, or the tutu whose house we're always at for Thanksgiving? This feels like that type of home. I'm just imagining the kanikapila sessions. I'm just imagining sitting outside, listening to music, playing music with your family, and then boom. I'm sorry, but to me, it does not get better than that.
So this is Kaleo. This is your childhood home.
This is.
And you helped to manage this project, pick out the finishes. Why sell such a one-of-a-kind home in a neighborhood like this?
Me and my two sisters, we have our own properties. My father passed away in 2020 from cancer. And that left us with just my mom and us 3 kids. We all have our own houses. And as my mom is getting older, a bunch of us, we were trying to just brainstorm, like, how do we keep this? Like for Hawaiians to have one property was a big deal for us. And we didn't want to lose what my parents worked so hard to build. Yeah. But the difficult decision came after about 1.5 years of just constant discussions. If our parents' dream was to have legacy, and to take care of our generational future, then the three of us and my sister's children, and then the children after that cannot share this Kaneohe property. And so I proposed that we renovate and list it and try to look for generational property, which is our next step.
I think we all would love to have that one rock of a home that is just generational. But you can also buy real estate, and whether in 5 years, 15, 50, accumulate that wealth and reposition your legacy. So that's a beautiful thing about real estate and wealth building. Tell us about the renovation. Kimmy from our team spent probably half an hour with you. She's like, can I follow you on Pinterest? How did all of these finishes, the design?
Well, so if you've ever watched Renovation Aloha, the HGTV show, I was like hooked to that show. I dabble in the real estate investment world, but I'm not a realtor licensed. And I cold called the contractor out of Renovation Aloha, Chong of XQ Construction, and I asked him, like, do you only do their flips? Or can you do our renovation? And he's like, of course I do. I do my own. I do everything in-house. And so I hired Chong. And he told me, like, depending on what you're willing to spend is the amount that I will be involved. If you look around at this neighborhood, it is a very, over 40s neighborhood. Most of the families here are first generation homeowners that are still here today. And I wanted to bring this house into 2024 because I'm a very modern person. But I had to restrain and remember that older or younger family could buy this house from here or not from here. And I had to make the choices that match this neighborhood to not disrespect anything that has been built here. We didn't want a nasty monster home fully renovated with weird colors that would stick out like a sore thumb. So Chong and I alone, the two of us, picked every single fixture and finish of this entire property.
What do we dub this, Mahe? Modern?
I say
modern Hawaiian?
rustic, but what do you guys say?
Modern Kaneohe, because I love that. I love the vision of that, because you really you do a disservice to like a home in Kaneohe by trying to overly modernize it, because I think a big part of the draw and the appeal of Kaneohe is that charm, that like community, older community charm.
Kaneohe charm.
I mean, look at that. We were kind of discussing inside how the fence looks. Instead of having like a closed up vinyl fence, you have this almost like ranch feeling style of like open, so you can have your privacy, but you're still part of the community. It is a generational home, it is a family home, and it's in a community where people are looking for that type of thing, and they want to be able to be with the community and be part of the community. I cannot believe you guys never had fence that whole time.
Yeah, we battled.
You guys never fenced the whole growing up?
So growing up, if you actually look at the fence, the holes on the top of the wall were always there, but my parents worked 12-hour days, and we never had the money or the means to ever do it. And so I battled with Chong because he wanted a white vinyl closed fence. And I told him, I will never, ever allow that in this street. Because growing up, my dad and mom used to look out the window and see the neighbors, see the cars. And I wanted it to be as inviting on the inside as it is on the outside.
There's like chain link there. But remember, we've talked about it, like whether it be wahiwa or whatever, but that's chain link that goes quaint, right? It's nice. This is kind of a full circle thing because you guys have some KS alum paddling. What's going on there?
I knew you from somewhere.
Same.
But I couldn't like quite pin it down. Come to find out, it's like, okay, he knows all the same paddlers I know from high school. And he's like best friends with like some hula dancers that I know. So we like had the overlapping, but we're like on the other sides of the Venn diagram. And also you're flight attendant too, right? So you know all of my friends from there. Laneas know all those people. Lena, who is your best friend. Yeah.
In this episode of Name Dropping.
That's my best friend. So
your friend Matt is Cam Schools too?
yes.
Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Sorry, Bernice.
They went the other camp, that's why. Campbell, lower campus. Like you mentioned, a lot of Hawaiians, especially, we have like we just want the one house. We just shoot our whole lives to have that one house in the family. And I love that you and your siblings are getting along and are making the choice together, because that's such a problem here too. The one generational property and like differing opinions in the family. But what you didn't mention was how now you guys are gonna get to go to Puna and have just like your compound for your family. This is not a loss in any way. You're not getting rid of the generational memories or anything. You're building more of a legacy for your family. You're repositioning your generational wealth where all of your family can be together, and your mom in her sunset years can have all her kids around her. And I'm really excited for you, and it's beautiful. I love it.
I feel like coming off of that, we should have Uncle sing Hawaii Aloha, and then we just all cry.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed our Brokers Open. This isn't something we do all the time. We don't show, a day in the life of actually being an agent and selling a home. but this is the first step to a bit like a 10-day blitz process. So this home will be listed, will hold showing, will allow the energy to build up. Basically, we're gonna put a dam in the river of energy when this beautiful, like new home hits the market. And then we'll have a busy open house. We're gonna look for competing multiple offer situation and get the most value for this family. There's a whole long story to it on why I'm partnering to sell this home with someone outside of my team. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but basically another agent who I have respect for in a sense that he's a very good human. We elected to have Chance take the lead on this, and then our team, we come in with the marketing power, you know, and just elevate the listing a bit more. Everyone who's a fan of this channel knows that one thing that we can do that no one else can do is get the publicity that selling your home on this channel brings. Presentation, staging, timing, price, these are all skilled things that matter, and the agent does matter. But in terms of where we get it publicized, we can all do very similar things. No one else can get the exposure and the reach we can on this channel, so that's why we were brought into this listing. And it's a great match. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment, go to coreteamhawaii.com, reach out to us if you have a buying or a selling need, and tell us what you thought of our Brokers Open.